What is going on, guys? It is David here, and well, my name is David, and this is going to be the first installment of my weekly release week recap, or not recap, but weekly release calendar. I'm just going to be giving you guys an update on what's going to be releasing today. For those that want a little bit of background info, I run a reselling little business called Hype Kit, and essentially I'm just trying to make a little cash, and so I want to help those of you guys that are looking to make some cash as well. So we're not going to waste any more time. Make sure to like and subscribe if you found this video useful, as well as make sure to follow the official Hype Kit page. I'm going to be sharing a lot of just like release information as it comes out. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and get into today's or this week's releases. All right, guys, so the interesting thing is last week we had a bunch of releases that got pushed back. There's a lot of just craziness that's going on in this world. It makes sense. There's a lot of things that are impacting our economy at the moment. So we saw a lot of releases get pushed back. The Jordan 6 Hares got pushed back. The Jordan 5 Top 5 got pushed back. The what else got pushed back? The Air Max 90 oranges that are supposed to release this week, I believe, also got pushed back. So there's a lot of things that even coming into this week, I would definitely be a little skeptical if those shoes are actually going to be released. But as of today, it's Sunday, June, what is the date? I don't even know what day it is. Sunday, June 14th. Today, there's no releases. Sometimes we do see some shock drops that do take place on Sundays. It's very few and far between. We saw that mostly happen during the release of the mini-series or docu-series for The Last Dance. I don't think that's going to be a normal thing. Tomorrow, Monday, June 15th, we have a Kith release. That's going to be at 8 a.m. That's a part of the Kith Monday morning program. For that release this week, it's the Fix the System t-shirts. It's two t-shirts. There's a black t-shirt and a white t-shirt. The design on these, I don't think these are going to be really shirts that are going to be like things that if you're a flipper, this is going to be something that you're going to want to flip. But in regards to the cause, these are shirts that the proceeds or the sale of these shirts are going to go towards donating towards Black-focused community development programs. So there's definitely a good cause here. If you do plan on purchasing these, I will say that with most of the Kith Monday morning releases, they tend to be not only just limited, but go very quick. So definitely be prepared ahead of time. Make sure you have your autofill information set up on your computers or on your phone, so that way you can just cop and just autofill in that information as opposed to having to manual. They also have PayPal, so you can you can purchase via PayPal if you would like. That's another way to quickly purchase these items. They're not bad. I may buy the black one. I think the message behind the t-shirt speaks a little bit more than the actual design, and so I think that's what's going on here. So next we have on Monday we have the Air Max 90 orange duck camo that are going to be releasing. Earlier this year, we also saw quite a few Air Max 90s that got released. It's the 30-year anniversary, so it makes sense that there's some cool or sort of new releases or new colorways that are going to be released for the Air Max 90. To be quite honest, I'm not a huge Air Max 90 guy, so I don't plan on purchasing these, but I think they are, for those that are kind of into more of those like flashy colorways, it's kind of got that Giants feel to it. So if you have the SF box logo from Supreme, these would be some pretty dope joints to rock with that BOGO shirt. Materials on them look pretty dope, pretty nice. But yeah, like I said, I don't plan on purchasing these. If you are going to be a reseller, these might, let's see, I'm going to do a quick check here. For these Air Max 90 duck camos, these are, so retail on these are, let's see. Retail on these are $140. But so far they're actually reselling for actually a pretty decent price. Last sale on June 13th on StockX was for 202. So, the Air Max 90, the thing about the Air Max 90 is a lot of people like the Air Max 90. They're a popular shoe. So I don't think you're really going to go wrong with this silhouette. If you are trying to cop something for personal, and like I said, they're going for 140. You might be able to flip these for 200. That's actually not a bad flip with the StockX fees. 10%. So you're gonna make a decent amount. So I'm definitely not gonna cop these for personal, but I do think it might definitely be worth picking these up for resale. So like I said, with the StockX. Or not with StockX, but with Nike. For those of you that are interested in botting and stuff like that, obviously you're not going to be able to bot the sneakers app. What I would do is just try to buy a bunch of verified Nike accounts. You could buy those through Pookie. That's where I buy my verified Nike accounts. And you can, if you have multiple phones, that's one way you can have, let's say, for example, if you have two, maybe you can buy two verified accounts. And then make sure that you're logged in on both. There's not really anything that you can do, I think, to really kind of game the system. So you're just going to have to play with a little bit of luck there. But again, it's definitely not a bad deal if you're looking to resell. If things are flipping for about 200, you're not going to lose your money there. So on to the next one. On Wednesday, the 17th, we have the Air Jordan 6 Retro Hare. I actually really like these. I really like the colorway on them. The color blocking are pretty dope. Also, I'm looking at these items while I'm talking to you guys, so just keep that in mind. But I like this colorway. I think it's a dope retro shoe. Kind of gives me that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air kind of vibe. These, to be quite honest, are definitely going to be personals. I wouldn't necessarily say that these are going to be resale worthy. Keep in mind that these are retailing for $190, so it's a pretty steep price. They're only reselling for about, last sold price was $250, so you're only gonna probably make $30 on these shoes. But if depending on how many you buy, I would definitely say maybe go towards those higher sized shoes as opposed to those smaller sizes, and you might be able to make a little bit more money on those. The last shoe was sold today, Sunday. It was a pair of size 13s that were sold for $250. So at 190, let's say 190 minus 250. Sorry, I'm not great at math. 250 minus 190. That's about $60, but then you also have to factor in about 9%. So you might be able to get away with about $54, depending on the size. I will say that's depending on the size. 10s are going for $245. Just be careful. In terms of the premium, StockX is showing 27.4%. So it's not bad. But I would just be careful just because the way the market is kind of taking place, or the economy is taking place right now. I know I'm definitely kind of being a little bit more cautious about what I am buying and what I'm not buying. I know especially when it comes to Supreme, which we'll hop into next. I haven't been buying as much Supreme, especially with the releases that have been coming out. There hasn't been a lot of things that have been coming out that are like resale worthy. I'm mainly a reseller. But I think these are great sort of like a colorway. I definitely do want a pair of these. To be quite honest, I've never really been a Jordan guy. I'm more of a Dunk SB or SB Dunks kind of guy. So that's kind of my jam. And also trainers, that's my thing. So I'm kind of jumping into picking up Jordans for personal, especially these retro colorways that I couldn't get when I was a kid. So yeah, I mean, for 190, another thing that I would keep in mind, don't be surprised if these do end up getting pushed back. I would say again, for anything this week, this shoe might get delayed again. I hope it doesn't. I know it already released in the EU. There's a good chance that could happen again, especially I know with all the riots that were taking place. If there could be more riots that happened this week, especially with the death that took place on Friday. So just kind of keep that in mind that these might be delayed. But again, I don't think you can really go wrong with picking these up for parapersonal. On to the next one. Next, we have Supreme Week 17. I don't have any details today in regards to what is going to be releasing. Just for a heads up, some accounts that I would definitely check out or kind of monitor. Drops by Jay usually has some leaks ahead of time, and then also Supreme Leak News or Supreme News Leaks also has some really good info that comes out ahead of time. I would say Drops by Jay is a little bit more reliable. I know Drops by Jay has a cook group as well, I believe. I'm not really sure how that cook group, what that experience is like. I'll make another video on cook groups in general, if they're worth it or not. But Drops by Jay is a pretty reliable guy. So I would definitely make sure to monitor his Twitter account for leaks. But like I said, the last couple of weeks, I myself, I haven't really been picking up too much from Supreme just because it's been really, really hit or miss with their releases. Last thing that I purchased, actually they had a restock for the Supreme Nalgene's last Friday, last Thursday that I picked up some stuff. And then I also picked up, what did I pick up? I think I picked up the t-shirts that released last week. I can't remember. But yeah, like I said, I would say more than anything, look out for those restocks. Because there are probably going to be some really dope restocks. I know over the course of the year, the Supreme Air Force Ones are going to be constantly restocked. So make sure to look out for those. I think those are great, like personals. And also if you're trying to look for resale, you're going to get some lunch money with those, but you're not going to really lose because Supreme. But again, be cautious with everything that's going on. Somebody could break into another UPS truck and then your package is gone. So, but next, for Nike, we have the Nike Adapt Automax Anthracite, the Jordan 11 Low Concord Sketch, and then we also have some Bear Bricks dropping. These are Nike clot Bear Bricks. There's going to be a 1000% and a 400% silk. These are kind of like, they look pretty cool. These are definitely, I would say, you could flip these. I will say that it's pretty hard. I think also with these Bear Bricks that are releasing, I think these are only for pickup at the juice stores, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But I remember reading that these were for pickups only. So keep that in mind. If you live near a juice store, I think juice is in Hong Kong. So if you live in Hong Kong, you could definitely pick these up. But if you don't live in Hong Kong, then you won't be able to pick these up. I usually also have release info on my website, blog.hypekit.co. I will have all the full details for each of these releases there. I think these are dope personals. I've been looking for some Bear Bricks to keep in my apartment. I just moved here, so I'm trying to style and profile. I bought some Cause stuff last week, so I'm super stoked on that stuff coming in. But that's beside the point. The Air Jordan, in terms of prices, these Bear Bricks, let's see. We don't have prices yet. Let me do a quick Google search to see if we got some pricing on this. Google is your friend, guys. Google is your friend. In terms of pricing, we ain't got pricing yet. But just keep in mind that you're probably going to be spending a pretty penny on these. You're probably going to be spending a pretty penny on these, so just keep that in mind. I'm probably not going to buy these, but these would be really dope to have in my apartment. Next item, the Air Jordan 11 Low Concord Sketch. These are women's, so fellas, if you're looking to pick these up, you probably are not going to want to pick your exact size. You're going to want to maybe size it a little bit different. In terms of Retail. Sorry, guys. This is kind of like a on the fly. These are probably going to retail, I'm assuming, at 180, 185. They might resell for, They might retail for a little bit more. Let me check sneakers real quick. They're not even on sneakers. I'm going to assume these are probably going to retail for 185. Don't have full details yet on pricing, but that's probably going to be the ballpark there. I think these are probably going to do well just because they're a very versatile colorway. Typically, I think when stuff is released and it's like women's only type colorways, like obviously you're probably not going to make as much. But with the Concord Sketch, I would love to have these. Like I said before, I'm kind of getting into my Jordan game a little bit. I wasn't purchasing Jordan before, so I would definitely consider picking these up. So there's probably going to be a lot of other guys that are going to be trying to get these Concord Sketches. So I would definitely check these out. In terms of pricing, like I said, these are probably going to retail for about 185. I don't see these retailing for anything more. Resale, I think, is going to be a little bit crazy for these. They're not even on. Let's see. So, for women's, they're probably going to retail for about 185. On StockX, the last price for these was a 12 and women's was 280. So these are probably going to be the shoes that you're going to want to pick up this week, especially if you're a retailer or reseller, like I myself am. So I'm probably going to be picking these up. And they're a great colorway. They're great for resale. I think they're great for retail as well. Their lows, I like highs a little bit more myself, but and it's summer, so it's a great colorway for summer. I think these are just overall just going to be the hot item for this week that you're not going to want to really miss out on. Next up, we have the Nike Adapt Automax anthracite. These are a pretty pricey shoe just in general. They're about $400. These aren't really going to resell for very much if you're looking to resell these. If you're looking for personals, I'm not a big fan of these. I don't really think these look very good. I think the concept is cool in regards to like building upon the idea of the Back to the Future sort of like, I don't even remember what the shoe is, to be quite honest, but the Back to the Future auto lacing shoes, those are cool. So the black and green pair, the Charger, those are reselling. They're not even reselling. So I don't really think you're going to be able to get much if you're planning on reselling these. But if you are planning on copying, you probably have a pretty good chance of that, just because not a lot of people are going to be spending $400 of shoes, especially right now with the way that the U.S. economy is. A lot of people aren't spending a lot of money on shoes, so these are going to be kind of hit or miss. It's a very risky pair of shoes to be purchasing, but again, that's what the world of sneaker resale is all about. So maybe dope for a collectible. I won't be buying a pair, to be quite honest. Like I said, I don't really like these, and I don't think there's much resale value in these. So it's kind of a waste, especially at $400. There's a lot better things I could be spending $400 on. So these are gonna definitely be a drop for me. Friday, 6/19. We don't really have any drops happening this Friday, which is also kind of nice. When things are dropping every single day, I think it definitely becomes very difficult to figure out what you are going to purchase and what you're not going to purchase. But for the 19th, nothing really coming out. Saturday, the 20th. We have a lot of things coming out. The first thing that we have is the Jordan 1 High Zoom Rage Green. This colorway is actually kind of dope. I feel like it's a very subtle, like, just kind of like, I don't know, like, I like it. To be quite honest, and I think it's a definitely very, very much a wearable shoe. In terms of reselling, retail for these, retail is going to be $175, which is nice. It's not too bad. Resell is where it's at for these right now. These are reselling last pair today, a size 9 resold for $464. So if you get a pair of these, you're gonna have a good week. I'm most likely probably going to plan on reselling these. I'm hoping these are going to be releasing on foot sites as well. That's gonna be super dope. I don't ever cop anything on sneakers. The only thing I've ever copped were the Jordan 1 Crimson last year. But outside of that, I very rarely pick up anything on the sneakers app. So I'm hoping these are going to be reselling or selling on other platforms, because that means I get a better chance of copying these for resale. But we'll see. The material seems to be a mixture of suede and some sort of synthetic fabric. It doesn't look like there's actual leather on these. I could be wrong. But it's got the blue outsole, which is pretty dope. And overall, I think it's just a really good colorway. This is something that I would definitely rock, but I'm probably going to be reselling these. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of the colorway, but I think it's versatile. So with a resale value of $400, I'm definitely sold. I'm definitely going to be picking these up. Next, we have the Air Jordan 5 Top 3. These were supposed to release last week, but got delayed. Again, there's been a lot of stuff happening in the world right now. I think Nike was just kind of prioritizing, or kind of trying to show, that they are in solidarity with those that are affected, the Black community. So these have been delayed. These are pretty dope. I think that this is a great colorway. I love just like the combination of all the different Jordans, the top 3 colorways. So these are the top 3 Jordan colorways available on StockX. It's a Jordan 5. These are going to be retailing for about $200. Resale value on these is not that great, only being at $257. So you don't really have a huge margin for reselling. The last pair of 9.5s resold for about $251, and that was today, early this morning. And the price is doesn't really seem to be. It seems more than anything to be going down. At one point, these were selling for $500. So I think these are definitely going to be a pair of shoes that are personals rather than reselling. I don't plan on buying these. I do really want a pair of Jordan 5s, but again, I'm not really even going out right now, so I'm kind of like being selective with which items I'm actually purchasing, because obviously some items I'm actually going to be rocking, and some items I'm not really going to be rocking. So that didn't even make sense. I don't even know why I said that, but these I think are definitely more personals than resells. But again, I think it's a pretty dope colorway. It's a not too all over the place. It's not too flashy, which I'm a big fan of. So I think I like just more. Like, I don't like the what are the grapes, grape aquas. The tongue, I'm not a huge fan of it, but again, I don't think it takes away from the shoe and the design and just like the overall aesthetic. I do need a pair of Jordan 5s in my collection, but these just aren't going to be it for me. Next, we have the Jordan 11 Retro Low Concord Bred. So we got 2 pairs of Concord Lows that are releasing this week. These are retail for $185. It's got the Concord Bred colorway, so you've got the all white sort of like upper material with the solid black and the red outsole. the black patent leather. These are dope. I like the regular Bred colorway as opposed to the Concord Bred colorway. I don't plan on purchasing these, to be quite honest. Like I said, these are retailing for $185. Resale values, it's okay. It's not bad. Last pair, size 11, resold for $245. So you might be able to get some money on these. I think with most Jordans, you're going to want to hold for quite a bit of time. So if you can buy and then hold, I think you're in a better position because people always are going to want Jordans. It's just really it really comes down to timing in the market. The dope thing was with the Jordan, which Jordans that I had? I sold, I sold a pair of Jordan 3, the UNCs, this past a few months ago. And I originally bought these back in February, I think it was, for $290. And then because of what was going on with The Last Dance, I was actually able to sell these for $300. So I got well more than my money's worth on reselling these. So I think it's going to be the same sort of scenario with any Jordan, for lack of that matter. Just hold them. I would buy and hold, and then just try to see when is the best time. I don't think these are like really quick flips. Like you're going to want to resell right that same weekend. You can also do bids on eBay. That's one way of reselling stuff. I think with Jordans, like I said, you kind of want to wait until the stock is kind of not really popping up all over the place and then you resell. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Let me know down in the comments below what your guys' thoughts are. But like I said, for these Concord Breds, resale values there is about 30% profit margin. I don't think that's bad, but for me, when I'm selling shoes, I want to try to make as much profit as possible, especially when I'm selling on StockX, because with the seller fees, it takes out a good chunk of your profit. So with the UNC 3s that I bought, I sold it for $300, but I ended up getting about $260. So that's a pretty good chunk of change that I'm losing on that. So just keep that in mind when you guys are picking up Jordans. Last item that's being released this week is the Jordan 4 Retro Metallic Red. These are sort of, the metallic pack is kind of like a re-release or inspired by the Jordan 1 metallic treatment that released a while back. These are going to be releasing, retail is going to be $190. Right now, resale is about $400. Size 10 sold for $400. I think these are going to be another pair of shoes that are probably going to be a pretty nice chunk of change that you're probably going to be able to make off of these. I might go for these, especially with the market being this nice. I'm not sure why it's this high, to be quite honest, but I'm not going to complain. A pair of 11.5 sold on Saturday for $525. So if you can get your hands on these, I would definitely do so. I'm hoping these also release on Finish Line or Foot Locker as well, because that's just going to give more opportunity to actually pick these up. And hopefully it's not just on sneakers. So I'm kind of stoked. I would say with this being the last item on the list, the two things that you're probably going to want to pick up this week are the Jordan 11 Low Concord Sketch, the Air Jordan 4 Retro Red Metallic, as well as I would say those are probably going to be the two items that you're going to want to try to actually get your hands on, especially if you're looking to resell. Those are going to be the items that I'm looking to resell this week, especially for I've been trying to look for weekly quick flips as opposed to stuff that I hold on to. I've had quite a bit of things that I've had for quite some time that I'm trying to get rid of. And so those are the two items that I would definitely check out for this week. I'll leave the links below for these items so you can try to see if these are worth picking up for this week. And that's going to be it for this week's weekly release. Let me know down in the comments below what items you guys are looking to pick up for this week. And with that, guys, I'll catch you guys in next week's weekly release calendar video. And yeah, that's it, guys. Peace.